All right, boys and girls, we're back for another installment in my series of the toughest SAT questions, really the SAT math questions. This is episode 5. If you haven't seen the other 4 episodes, please go back and try those questions alongside me. As usual, I will pause before each question and give you a chance to try them on your own. But if you would rather just watch along, let's do that. Let's get to work. This is number 28 to start. I first of all catch on to the idea that this is asking for area of this rectangle. How do you find area of a rectangle? It's length times width. Again, length times width. From there, I understand that, well, wait a second, I see a lot of 30 degrees angles. 30 degree angles, wait a second, what is that? 30 degree angles are really important because it goes 30, 60, 90. Really, x root 3, 2x. And to better explain that, across from the 30 will always be x, across from the 60 will be x root 3, and across from the 90 will be 2x. So what does that mean for us? Well, first of all, I understand that across from the 30 is 5, thus this side is going to be 10. If that's the case, walk with me because remember, we're trying to get to this side x. So what's that mean for us? That means that this side would be 5. Again, across from the 30 would be 5. And across from the 60, what do we have to tack on for across from the 60? 5 root 3. You need to tack on a root 3. Okay? So now what? Well, we still need this side over here. Because remember, this 5 right here is only that length. It's not the whole thing. We need this big side here. So in that case, if this side here is 5 across from the 30, and this side here was 10, guess what? This side here is 5 root 3. Now what? Well, across from the 90 is 5 root 3, therefore across from the 30 it has to be half of that. So that's going to be 2.5 root 3. And if that's the case, what's this side going to be? Well, remember, again, for that side, you need to tack on a root 3. That's going to be 2.5 root 3 root 3. What's root 3 times root 3? Just 3 times 2.5 is 7.5. Wow, that's really tough. At this point, we're done because all you have to do is do length times width, and I think we're good to go. You have 7.5 times 5 root 3, and the answer comes out to D. All right, so if you have any questions on that skill, please holler at me in the comments. I'll be happy to get back to you. But let's keep going. Let's come over here for this question. This is another geometry question. It's about a circle with a radius of 10 that passes through the origin. Well, wait a second. If I have a circle that's passing through the origin, that's pretty cool. But one skill that I always teach my students is when you have a coordinate, remember, the origin is actually 0, 0. When you have a coordinate, plug it in. So let's take a look at how to do this question. First of all, the equation of a circle is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So 10 squared, it can't be a. It's got to be either this, or this, really, B, C, or D. Now, what did I just say a few minutes ago? I said origin. If it goes through the origin, that's 0, 0. What's stopping you from just plugging 0 in for x and y? Nothing. So really, that's what you should do. When you plug in 0 and 0 there, you have 5 squared plus 5 squared equals 100. No, that doesn't work. Remember, that's 25 plus 25. That doesn't add up to 100. That's wrong. Let's try C. Again, plugging in 0, 0, we have 10 squared plus 10 squared equals 100. No, that doesn't. That's 200. So the answer here is actually going to be D. Now, you could try the actual math. It's 5 root 2 squared plus 5 root 2 squared equals 100. And in fact, it really does equal 100. So that's a tough question. I've only had a few students get that right. If you're getting these right, you are really, really good. So that is good for number 30. Let's come down here for the last two questions, and this one is actually, this number 29 was right after this question 28. So these are kind of consecutive, difficult geometry questions. So let's come down here and take a look at number 29. As always, I'll pause here, let you stop the video and try the question by yourself if you'd like. But if you would like to just listen along, let's get to it. What does it want? Remember, I don't really read a lot of this. I just read the last sentence of each question. It says, what is the sum of the areas of the four triangles that will be removed? It looks like they're removing these edges here. In which case, what is the sum of those areas right there, there, and there? Well, let's find it. I will warn you though, I see a lot of root 3's and root 2's in the answer choices. When do we ever see root 3's and root 2's in the answer choices? Anytime you're dealing with a 30, 60, 90, remember that goes x root 3, 2x, or if you have a 45, 45, 90 triangle, that's going to be x root 2. Okay, so keep that in mind as we go through this question. So what I would recommend is, first of all, just what catches my eye, I would just chop this up into kind of shapes or triangles that I know, because I don't know what a hexagon is. So once I do that, I understand that, well, wait a second, this is 60, 60, 60, because it has to add up to 180. If that's the case, then if that's 60, then I don't know, I think this angle here has to be 30. This angle would be 60. And this, of course, is a 90-degree angle. So if that's the case, remember, these are all equilateral triangles, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Everything is a 4. In which case, I think this side's going to be a 2. This side's going to be a 2 root 3. And this side, of course, is going to be a 4, like we said. And that's, again, just going back to 30, 60, 90. Now, how do we find the area of a triangle? The area of a right triangle is A equals 1/2 base times height. So we have A equals 1/2 times 2 times 2 root 3. Again, I'm doing 1/2 base times height. And when you do that, this 1/2 and this 2 cancel, you're left with just 2 root 3. But I don't just have one of those triangles, guys. How many of those triangles do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times that, I'm going to get the answer of A. So that's another interesting geometry question, another tough one. This test was really, really tough on the geometry. But I'm going to keep going. Let's come over here for number 20, and this is going to be an algebra question to finish us off for today. This question is interesting, but what does it want? It wants us to find a value of h, but it's saying f of h minus 3 equals 0. What does that mean to us? Well, that means that we have to take this, remember f of x, we have to plug this in for r anywhere we see an r. Okay, so again, what are we going to do? We're going to be plugging this value of h minus 3 in for r. Here and also here. So let's do it. We have h minus 3 minus 4 times h minus 3 plus 1 squared equals 0. And why equals 0? Equals 0 because it was set equal to 0 when you plugged h minus 3 in. At this point, we're pretty much done. It's h minus 7 times h minus 2 squared equals 0. So what are some of the answers? Remember, it does say what is one possible value. There's more than one answer. What are some answers that we could choose? We could have chosen h equals 7 and h equals 2. Those are the x-intercepts, or the zeros of this function. So either of those would work. So I'll stop there for this quick video, and I will kind of give you a challenge. How many of those questions did you get right? And if you didn't get them all right, let me know which one did you find most difficult, or let me know if they make sense now. That's why I'm making these videos, to help you guys. So if that helped you, help me out and drop me a like, a share, or a subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one. See you soon.